Hello gardening friends, this is Amy here. Today is a day for fall preparation, trimming, putting new plants in the flower beds. What else is it? I did this morning my Wisteria here. Brought in a whole bunch of plants into my house. I have a spare room there. I'll show you how it looks like. It's starting to look like a jungle, but it's okay. At least I'll have pretty plants next year. I just love those colors, and I just don't want to run into the risk of not being able to find those colors again. And the plants have grown so much, so they're ginormous. Another reason why I want to save them. So next I will be doing some trimming of my evergreens. I think that one is going to be a bit of a tricky one just because I have plants that are grown below it. So we'll see how it goes. I should wait until later, but you know what? I can't because I want to start putting my tulips in soon. So they will be in my way if I don't trim them back right now. All right, so let's get trimming. Okay, so one of the things I just discovered is that I have allowed my wisteria here to grow a little bit crazy. So one of the tasks that I need to do is trim her up. So apparently I should not have allowed it to grow all over, like curl around itself like that. So you know what? I'm gonna attempt to try to trim her up, hopefully properly, so that next spring I will get more blooms. But not only that, she won't look quite as crazy. Here she is. I won't film the whole process. I think it'll take way too long. So stay tuned. I'll show you the after. Okay, this is what I think 3 hours of pruning looks like. But look, I think I might have gotten it right. Who knows? Took off so much branches, leaves, you name it. But I think it's looking a lot cleaner. Apparently I'm supposed to let sunlight in, so I think this should do the trick. Look at the amount of leaves. Oh my gosh, my backyard is a total mess. And yep, here we go. Is that not crazy? But it feels so much. It feels so nice to be able to finish this task. Hopefully, I shall get more wisteria blooms next year from all this pruning. One task off my fall maintenance list. I got almost three full bags of Costco waste from my wisteria here. Loving how much the sunlight is coming in. And I think next year when it blooms, I'll be able to see the blooms hanging down. This year they were on top of the pergola. Unless I was standing up in my second story window, I was unable to really see too much down here. So I'm looking forward to that. Secondly, I have a yellow climbing rose right here. What's her name? She is Yellow Blaze. So she's planted on this side, this side of the pergola. She's been here, this is her second year, no bloom whatsoever. And I think one of the reasons is because she climbs from here, right? She goes all the way over here. And because the wisteria had so much leaves on it, it was blocking the majority of the sunlight that was coming down here. So I don't think she was getting enough sunlight. So she did not bloom. Put on some growth, but not a lot. So I'm trying to train her here. So she's gonna go. The idea is for her to wrap around this side of the pergola so that she blooms yellow flowers. There's one stem that's trying to go over this side, so I'm allowing it to climb over there. On this side, I got my pink climbing rose also, so I'm going to train it to go this way and then this way. The wisteria are a bit like a lilac bluish color, so one day these three will mesh together. That's the idea. So look at all the sunlight she's getting right now, so I think she'll be much happier next year. Wow, this feels so good to get done. I had no idea I was growing it wrong until I started watching a whole bunch of videos, did a whole bunch of research, and realized it was a big no-no what I was allowing it to do, just kind of running wild. So now I'm keeping main stems only to train them going along the pergola here. Any side shoots I am pruning back. So apparently you are supposed to prune it 2 to 3 times a year to keep things in check, and look how neat and tidy it is now. I'm starting to get the idea of it. I think the reason I was scared to trim it was because it took me so long to actually grow one that thrives. So every stem was very precious to me. So I didn't want to trim anything out. And I was scared to trim too because I didn't know how to trim. Wow, look at the sunlight coming in. And you know what will benefit? This patch right here behind me. I was always afraid that it would not get enough sunlight because the wisteria above it was casting too much shadow. But now that I've trimmed it, I think this patch is going to do really nicely. So I was saying earlier that because it took me a long time to be able to find a wisteria that did really well, I was scared to trim it back. You know, every branch is very precious, and I just didn't know how to trim or what its growth habit was and how it behaved. So I've been watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos of other gardeners who have a wisteria, who have grown them for many years. Just gauging from their experience and knowledge, I felt a lot more courageous and brave to actually tackle this pruning job today. You know what? It's not as hard as I thought. Took it one step at a time. It did take me, I think, over 3 hours, if I'm not mistaken. My neck is kind of hurting from kind of having to look up, but you know what? It's well worth it. And what I learned is that if you maintain it on a regular basis, the task and the job will not take as long the next time. So I will try to keep up with it. So I'll be pruning once in the summertime after it blooms, which is roughly around June-ish, early June-ish. It should be done blooming its first flush. And then I think they recommend it once more in the winter time. So I will try those techniques and see how it goes. But I can't wait for spring to come and show you guys how it's doing and how it's playing, or how it meshes with the rest of the climbing plants, the rose and the yellow rose on this side, and also the pink one on this side. Super excited about it. And you know what? I'm gonna take a short lunch break. I'm starving right now. I will tackle another trimming job. This one is my pine tree, and they need a good haircut. These are the ones that I will be doing after lunch. Okay, so we're gonna work on this plant, this evergreen right here. I wanna do a 3-tier type of design. So one here, then there's nothing, then one more tier here, and then a triangular top at the top, very top there. So let's see if I'm able to do that or not. You know what I actually should do? I didn't want to do because I was still hoping to keep the color of this one. I think I'm gonna lop it down so that I can see the shape of this a little bit better. Yeah, that's what I should do. All right. Make sure I don't step on anything. You know what? I have not trimmed this hydrangeas for a long time, so I took this opportunity to clear out the surrounding area so that it's a little bit easy to shape up this evergreen. My poor rose here, I finally am able to see her. What is she? She has not bloomed much at all. This is the variety right here, and she's supposed to be a climbing rose, like a gorgeous one. Honestly, have not seen much blooms or flowers this year. Hopefully next year. All right, I gotta get trimming. I will show you the final look afterwards. Too long to show the whole process. So here we go. This is before. Okay, so the rough shape is done. I shaped it into 3 sections. Lopped off the top of it because it was just a bit too tall for my liking. What I discovered after I trimmed it down is there's a whole bunch of dieback in the back here and also around here, and a huge chunk back here also. So you know what? What I learned from shaping my front one is that I have to be patient to allow the plant to grow new leaves so that I can reshape it again. So hopefully next year, the year afterwards, it will be a lot more fuller and into the shape that I really want. All right, let's work on this guy next. So by trimming down this evergreen, I have now opened up all this space underneath here, which was completely covered by the bottom portion of it. And my poor iris that I put in this year, what are these? I'll put it on the screen. I forgot. There's 2 of them, and they're the early blooming type, which I was afraid if I didn't trim this down, it's gonna die over time. So hopefully next spring I will see blooms on these guys, and then now I can plant a whole bunch of tulips all around the base of it. Super excited. And I gave my hydrangeas a trim too, so the Annabelles will come back hopefully with stronger stems next year also. And now my rose have room to breathe. So all in all, it was a very good idea. A lot of work, to be honest with you, but in the end is all worth it. All right, let's go. Tree number 2. I have 2 more to go. Okay, I just finished the second tree here. Finished that one already. That one I gave a bit of a more artistic shape, I guess. This one I kept it really simple. I didn't want too many shapes kind of might fight each other. Who knows? I kept this one really simple. Just trim up the side here, trim up this side, and also clear down the bottom here so that it will provide my roses with more airflow. So as you can see, a lot more room down here. So that, and then on this side also here, giving space here for this red rose, the dancing in the dark to to grow here, and also behind here also. And also there's also this one right here, which I don't know how to pronounce her name. That will give her more room to grow here too. So all in all, kept it super simple. Think about lopping off the top, but I'm still sitting on the fence. I might just wait until spring to do that. And also too, if you look on this side, the back side here is a tad messy, but you know what, I'm just gonna leave it for now. There's too many flowers in this area. I don't want to risk breaking anything off. Right, so third one. This one is the tricky one here because it is located all the way in here. Oh yikes, I don't know how I'm gonna get in there, but you know what, it needs a trim, especially around the base, so that the surrounding plants have room to grow, and there's better air circulation around that area, because I think I mentioned before, there is a Invincible Spirit 2 right here, but she's being smothered by all the other plants around there, so she needs more room. All right, let's tackle this one. Okay, so I just finished the third one. It doesn't seem like much was done to it, to be honest with you. All I did was just shape or narrow, no, that's not the right way. It was really wide at the base here, so all I did was just make it a little bit more narrow so that there's more space in there. I don't know if you can see, but I have this statue down here. It was completely covered by this evergreen. So now you can actually see my Buddha sleeping in there. I still have to go to the back of this to trim up the very back here. It's still a little bit messy, but I don't think I can get to it this year. I might wait just to do that in the springtime, but for the time being, this looks great. I just have to go back in there to cut back the hydrangeas a little bit. I think this bush I'm gonna cut back a little bit too. Yeah, you know, might as well, because it's gonna die back anyways. I'm gonna have to do it in spring. Oh yes, and I'm gonna get my trimmer to trim some of this back. I was able to do it here, which I was super happy. I have been eyeing that for quite some time, just to clean it up, because it was hanging way over here, which blocked the sunlight from all the plants below here. So I'm gonna go in there and do the same, just chop off all that extra growth there. This tree is massive, oh my gosh. Yeah, but I love her. Okay, so you know what? The trimming task is almost done. Then I'm gonna plop in 2 of my Midnight Masquerade Penstemons. So yes, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I just got 2 on clearance, super good price, $4 each. One is going here, and then I'm taking out the lilies, daylilies, yeah, back here. I'm taking out that clump, putting one there. I don't think I'll have time, or I want to do the dividing of the phlox to put behind here yet. And the phlox I'm talking about is the one way over there underneath that hydrangeas tree there. I really want a grouping of it here. Okay, so I'm gonna divide this phlox and put it over the patch over there. So there's 2 nice clump here. I love this color so much. Hopefully, get it out nice and clean. Minimum damage to the surrounding plants. I've actually never divided it this way. I've never divided it this way before. I used to always dig up the whole clump and then divide, but I figured, you know what, let's try something different. Hard about this patch is this, the hydrangeas tree, it has a lot of root, so I'm digging. I feel like I'm hitting some of them. It makes it a bit trickier to get this guy out. Here we go, yay. without getting poked by thorn. Okay. Yay. Yes. Yay, I got it out. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, what a beautiful clump. First time digging it or dividing it right in the soil. Worked out really well. Oh, there we go. So, oh my gosh, perfect too. Oh, geez, that's so pretty. Let me see. I gotta eyeball it from outside. Make sure that I like it. Otherwise, once it is in, it is stuck. All right. So, there it is. Right behind my rose there. Yeah, I like this spot. Okay, I got the phlox transplanted. Look at that color. Oh my gosh. So this rose, if you recall, is pretty lady. It's a magenta, deep pink. I'm not sure how you even describe it. So here she is. I think she's gonna pair really nice with this phlox here. And then of course I'm not sure if I'm gonna try to dig up this lilac root and put my Sun King in there or not, or maybe I might wait for next year. We'll see about that one. But I am loving this. I hope this phlox will spread all around here. So I got some pink stuff here already, the cone flowers. So I think it will pair really nicely. Super excited. So one less thing off my list to do for fall. Check. Super excited. Okay, let's go put the Penstemon into this spot. My gosh, that worked out really well. Look how neatly it came out. So I was a bit smart this time. I tied them into 2 bundles. So I took out the outer clump, and I left the inner clump behind. I hope that makes sense, because I want some airflow here, because I got my knockout rose here and also Easy Does rose here. So I really wanted to free up this spot so that it's not super cramped, and it worked out really well. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. And then of course I'm gonna dot the back here with some tulips, which I will be planting in October. All right, let's go put in my Penstemon next. Down to 2 more plants to plant into the garden. This one is had no tag. I was at Lowe's and seen this one on clearance. Regular price, usually they're between $15 to $20. It was only $4, 75% off. If I'm not mistaken, it might be this one. Proven Winners Midnight Masquerade. I got 2 of them early in the season, smaller plants, and they bloom beautifully. So when I seen these on clearance, I'm like, oh yes, I'm getting this one. So they are gonna go, one is gonna go right there. I have 2 of them. I might have to take out the geranium there. It hasn't been doing really well for the last 2 years, so I might just dig it up all together and toss it, and then put one of the Penstemon here, and then I'm going to dig out the lily back there and put one right beside the red climbing rose there. So I think it will go really nicely. It will shoot up stalks quite high, but the thing I like about it and why I chose this spot for it is that the leaves aren't tall, so it's not going to cover a whole bunch of this area. Therefore, it would allow my roses here around this area to breathe. So this is about as high as the leaves will go. That's it. So that's why I really like it, and that's why I chose this spot too, because I have 2 of the roses here and I don't want anything too overly crowded here. So they will go in here. Okay, here's the plant. Very healthy root system. The plant itself actually looks really good. And guess what? When I tipped over the pot, guess what I found? Yes. So this is his tag. So it's not a Midnight Masquerade, but a Husker Red. Very similar though. Very similar. Super excited. All right. So here's the root system. What I usually do is I will make a few cuts to break up the root system so that they don't keep growing around themselves. I find that kind of helps. Okay, let's put it in. Okay, the tricky part is getting in here because there's a lot of stuff in here. Okay, whoa. So it's gonna go right beside my climbing rose right here. Perfect. So I took out the irises. No longer like those ones. They're the orangey ones. Yeah, like I mentioned, I don't like orangey too much, depending on what kind of orange, what type of flowers. But for the most part, orange flowers are typically not my color. Okay. All right, perfect. I'm gonna water all these guys in. Give it a nice drink of water. And I think she's gonna do very nice. Perfect. Okay, that's it. Yay. Okay, so that's the first one. And then there's the second one. I took out the daylily. Haven't been doing very well for the last 2 years. It's an orangey color, not my favorite either. So this is gonna look great. So it still has some room here for my rose here. This climbing rose is in a pot, so it won't be affected. Look at that pretty red color. I can't wait until it fills up this whole area. Okay, and then there is the Penstemon. I think it's a perfect spot. So next year when it grows, you'll just see, you won't even see the leaves. You'll just see beautiful flowers coming out there. Same thing with this one. You'll just see beautiful flowers coming out here. Okay, so that is it for me today. I'm gonna water in my garden. I had no idea it's been so dry. And you know what? Lots to clean up. Let's do a recap of what we got done today. 4 bags of yard waste. Trimmed up my Wisteria, looking amazing. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know it was supposed to look like this. Super happy that it was done. Let's go over here. Shaped 3 or clean up 3 of my evergreen. This one was super tall, lopped off the top there, gave it a little bit of shape. It's not looking amazing because there's a whole bunch of dieback here. Hopefully next year it will grow new growth and kind of have a better shape. Shaped up this one. Yep. And then also clean up this one in the back here. Yep, can see my Buddha now. Cleaned up my hydrangea tree here. Now it has a nice shape, nice form to it. So hopefully all the sunlight will be able to come in here from now on. I'm gonna just keep trimming it upwards. That's how it got so tall and has the shape that it has right now, because I keep trimming the bottom part. Divided my phlox here. Here we go. And then that one went over to that side, which I've been eyeing and wanted to do for a long time. So I'm super happy about that. Cut back my hydrangeas, cut back my Annabelle. So these are going to come back really nice. They're super reliable, so I'm not worried about hacking them off right now. What else did I do here? Oh yes. Oh, I should have taken this one. My Cosmo is not looking happy. I think it's done. It is done. Okay, so, oh yes, I put in 2 Penstemons, one here and one here. Looking good. The phlox that I divided ended up back here. So next year, I hope it kind of, or over the years, I hope it creeps along there and make a bigger clump. I think it'll look really nice with my pretty lady magenta color here. I think I'm gonna wait. You know what? I'm gonna wait until next year maybe to put my Sun King in. Yeah. Ooh, I actually even tidy up my climbing rose here. Tied her against the post. Last year, I forgot to do that and I lost a whole bunch of canes. I think because they were being whipped around by the wind. Yeah, so that's, wow. Didn't seem like a lot, but honestly, that was a lot of stuff I got done, and things that have been on my list for quite some time. I never really gotten around to do it, just didn't find the time, and honestly, the weather was too hot. Finally, everything is done. Okay, so I'm gonna spray down my plants, getting them ready to take them inside. Hopefully I can spray off any kind of bugs that might be hiding out on these leaves. So I'm bringing a whole bunch of plants inside today. So get the top and then kind of water from the underside. I'm gonna let it sit outside a little bit, let it dry off. Oops. And then tonight I will bring it inside. Hopefully these guys will overwinter nicely inside my house. I'm sure the leaves will fall off, but as long as they survive, I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of pruning of my fuchsia here. Just bring her down a little bit in terms of size wise, because right now she's ginormous, and then it's gonna spray her down, and then I'll bring her in tonight also. The temperature is starting to drop a little bit here at nighttime, so I don't want to take the chance of it dying out here or freezing out here. It does feel a bit wasteful to trim off the branches, but you know what? I think she'll do better if I do that. Sacrificing some of the blooms, but she's just grown way too big, and it's just gonna be too much, take up too much space inside the house. I'm sure she will flush out nicely next summer. I can actually propagate this. Taking out any dead branches in here. Just gonna get as much of these dead leaves out as possible, just in case there's any bugs that's, you know, hiding in there. I definitely do not want to bring those inside. Give her a nice haircut, so hopefully she's gonna do well inside my house for the winter. I've never grown these, and I've never overwintered them inside before, so it will, sorry, my neighbor is still renovating. It's a bit loud. You know what, I'm gonna take a bit of the top soil out too, just in case if there are any bugs. Okay, here's the other color. Oh, I hate chopping off stuff that is still in flower. It hurts. But you know what? I gotta bring her inside. Gotta cut her back. I don't mind leaving these top one. I think they're okay. Just the side ones here, because they would just take up too much space inside the house. And I have quite a bit I want to take inside this year. So I need to trim her way back. Okay. And then I'm gonna spray her afterwards. Okay. By the way, I tried propagating fuchsias, and it actually worked. I gave them to my sister, and it's doing really well on her deck. So if anybody is ever interested in propagating these guys, super easy to do. All you do is just cut off the branch, the tip here, stick it in soil. That's about it. Okay, she's an easy one to trim because she's actually quite a small plant, not too big. Just want to get rid of all these dry flowers here. Then I'm gonna go underneath here, get rid of all the debris under there. Definitely do not want to be bringing any insects into my house. yeah, that would not be good. The good thing is I have a spare room, so all of these plants are going in one room. So if there happens to be any kind of bugs, any kind of fungal gnats, they'll all be contained in the one room and not spread to my other house plants that I currently have, because that was a doozy to treat. Okay, I'll be cleaning this. This is my second one. You know, the other two I might wait for another day because I have another task that I need to do. I need to trim down my evergreens and the weather is really, really nice today, so I don't want to miss that opportunity. So I will clean this up, spray her down real good, and then bring her inside the house. Okay, so I'm going to spray down my plants, getting them ready to take them inside. Hopefully I can spray off any kind of bugs that might be hiding out on these leaves. So I'm bringing a whole bunch of plants inside today. So get the top and then kind of water from the underside. I'm going to let it sit outside a little bit, let it dry off. Oops. And then tonight I will bring it inside. Hopefully these guys will overwinter nicely inside my house. I'm sure the leaves will fall off, but as long as they survive, I'm okay with that. I don't know if I've ever shown you guys my fig tree. First time growing a fig tree. And when I bought her, I think I have actually in my previous video. So when I bought her, she was that tall. Yep, she has grown all the way up here now, almost under my arm. And what's amazing is, guess what? I got figs. Isn't that crazy? Look, baby figs. The reason why she's wet is because I just sprayed her down. I tried to spray under all the leaves here. I think I got all the leaves just in case there's any eggs that's harboring over there, any insects that I don't want to bring inside the house. And look at this. Oh my God, I got baby figs. Isn't she pretty? So she's also going inside my house. I don't know how they're gonna winter in there, but we will see. There's a lot of plants that is new to me this year, and I'm trying to save them all by bringing them inside. I have no idea how they're gonna do inside, so fingers crossed. Wow, I feel like I have accomplished so much today. I had a day off and I spent most of the day going through my checklist of all my fall chores, tasks, preparation, you name it. I got a lot done today. Pretty proud of myself. So I'm just gonna clean up the mess that I've made, which I have a lot. Look at this, oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for coming along with me today and watching and tuning in. I hope you enjoy the video. Until next time, happy gardening and have a fantastic weekend. See you in my next video. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for coming along.